Did you know that in the U.S., being born on American soil guarantees you citizenship no matter your parents' immigration status? Sounds simple, right? But is this system fair to hardworking immigrants who follow the rules or to the American people footing the bill? President-elect Donald Trump thinks it's time to change that. Here's why birthright citizenship is one of his boldest moves yet and why it could reshape the future of America. Let's start with the basics. Birthright citizenship is rooted in the 14th Amendment, which guarantees that all persons born in the U.S. are citizens. While originally intended to grant citizenship to former enslaved people after the Civil War, is now extended to the children of undocumented immigrants. Critics argue this creates an incentive for illegal immigration, known as birth tourism or anchor babies, where individuals come to the U.S. solely to give their children citizenship. President-elect Trump's argument is simple. It's not just about immigration, it's about fairness. He's proposed an executive order to challenge the current interpretation of the 14th Amendment, targeting what he calls abuse of the system. By ending automatic citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants, he aims to prioritize resources for legal immigrants and reduce what he describes as economic strain on the middle class. But let's be realistic. This won't be an easy battle. The 14th Amendment is deeply entrenched in American law, and legal scholars argue that altering its interpretation will require a constitutional amendment, something nearly impossible without bipartisan support. Even the courts, including a conservative Supreme Court, might hesitate to overturn more than a century worth of precedent. Still, Trump's commitment to ending birthright citizenship reflects a broader push for immigration reform and a rethinking of what it means to be an American citizen. He believes that his citizenship should be earned if you're not born here, not handed out based on where you happen to be born. While the road ahead may be tough, this controversial move could redefine the nation's immigration policies and reinforce the principle of fairness for those who work hard to legally call America home. What do you think? Is ending birthright citizenship a necessary reform or a step too far? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Neil Jackson, reaction, and I'm out.
Before we get to all of that, let me ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You've promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
We're the only country that
alienate. Excuse the pun, the Hispanic population. You may have 28 million.
Chris, I have to do the right thing.
28 million voters.
You're right.
Pulling the birthright exception that may be constitutionally dubious. You shouldn't be taking such an extreme position. What do you say?
I have to do the right thing. It's a time, this country is so politically correct. Nobody wants to take a stance on anything. I was the one that brought up, and I took a lot of heat. You gave it to me, too. I mean, you were one of the leaders that first week and week and a half after I made the announcements. And a lot of people, including yourselves, they were not reading it the way I said it. And that is now fact. And I've been actually complimented by some of the people because I brought up the whole thing of illegal immigration. I'll bet you wouldn't even be asking this question right now had I not put that in my opening statement as a very important.
You definitely changed the nature of the dialogue. I'll give you that. And I certainly never would try to take you out of context. I try to take you at your word and put it in context.
But I'm saying many people did.
But you said, would you then go?
At some point, though, we have to look. At some point, we have to be honest with ourselves. It's called, they like to use the word undocumented because it's more political. I don't use that word. They're illegal immigrants. They came over illegally. Some are wonderful people, and they've been here for a while. They got to go out.
But how do you do it in a practical way? You really think you can round up 11 million people?
And you know what? At some point, we're going to try getting them back, the good ones. You have a lot of good ones. Same time,
send a mixed message, though, Mr. Trump, because you say you're going to get rid of whole families, but then you say you want them back.
You got to go. They're illegal.
Universal birthright citizenship is actually a misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. It was ratified in 1868, shortly after the Civil War, to specifically extend citizenship to freed slaves and their children. But the 14th Amendment does not say that all people born in the United States are citizens. It says that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. That second, critical, conditional phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, is conveniently ignored or misinterpreted by advocates of birthright citizenship. It was written to help distinguish between people like the children of former slaves who were unfairly denied citizenship and the children of diplomats or other people who were in the country but owed their citizenship to other countries.